Welcome back to Reading and Labeling Rhythms. This video follows an earlier instructional video, How to Read and Label Simple Rhythms. It is produced for the 5th grade boys of University School, Shaker Heights, Ohio. You can find this video on YouTube or it's also on YouTube, but you can also find it through makingmusicmakesense.webs.com, this website listed at the top of the page. In this video I will present 10 rhythms for you to practice reading. We'll stick to quarter notes, and in each of these examples the quarter note will be the beat as well. Half notes, which are worth 2 quarters, they last as long as 2 quarters. Dotted half notes, and those are worth 3 quarter notes. And eighth notes, and as you know 2 of these would last as long as 1 quarter. As each appears on the screen, I will give you a tempo, which is the musical word for speed, and suggest you pause the video so you can make an attempt at tapping or counting the rhythm. Make as many attempts as you like. When you're done, press play to hear how the rhythm sounds and hear if you were accurate. And you can tap along to the example when you see it. So to help out so you know what's going on, I'll walk you through an example. So here you see a rhythm. It's 4 measures long. That's the first 1, 2, 3, 4. Those each are measures. It has a time signature, this number here, these 2 numbers, of 4/4. So you know you'll be counting up to 4. That's the top number. That tells you what to count up to. And a quarter note will be 1 beat. That's the bottom number. As you know, it's a fraction. There are 4 quarters in a measure. You can see the first measure contains 2 quarter notes and a half note, so that would sound 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. The second measure contains quarter, eighth, eighth, quarter, quarter. And these are eighths, so we have to fit 2 of those inside 1 quarter note beat. So we have to keep the numbers even as we go through. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have to split this beat so it would sound like this. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay. The third measure contains quarter, eighth, 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 quarter. So it's similar to this measure here. But this time we're also splitting the third beat, so this time we would hear 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And the last measure contains 2 half notes, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so all the way through it would sound like this. Okay, or if I counted it out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, alright, so we'll now move on to the first rhythm for you. Here's practice rhythm 1. I'm going to move the screen over here. Have a look at this. Here's the tempo. It's the same tempo as the example. Each one of those taps is a quarter note. Try to work out each measure, then try and tap your way through all 4 without stopping. Pause the video now. As I've said before, keep a steady beat and not stopping is tough. And it's only with practice that you get better. So let's hear it and see how we did. Here's the same rhythm, but you can see the counts above it. So let's just see how we did. Okay. So moving on, here's practice rhythm 2. Have a look at each measure. Make sure you notice the time signature. And again, the tempo for each quarter note is this. Pause the video now. We can hear the example number 2. This is with the counts. This is the same thing. 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Here's number 3. Same thing. Look at each measure in turn. Double check the time signature. See if you can work out the counts, or just tap along. You don't need to work out the counts. So, pause the video now. And again, here is that example. Okay, let's see how we do. Okay. And number 4. Now, pay attention to the dotted half notes in the first and fourth measure. And away you go. Pause the video now. Okay, so here's number 4 with the counts, and see how you did. Okay, number 5. Now this is in 2/4, so we're only counting up to 2, and again, but again the quarter note gets the beat. All right, pause the video now. All right, number 5. Here's what it should look like if I had all the counts. And let's see how we did. That was, I think that was fairly straightforward, that one. It's just the change up of time signature that may have caused a little confusion. Number 6. Now, this measure may prove a little tricky. See how you do with this, and we'll explain it in just a second. Okay, again, it's 2/4. Quarter note gets the beat. We're only counting up to 2. 2 quarters in every measure. Pause the video now. Okay, so I said I'd come back and explain this measure. This is a great example of what we might call syncopation, where you've got a note held across the beat, and you're actually emphasizing the off beats. Something happens on the division of each of these beats. So we hear the 1, we hear the and of 1, beat. The second beat is actually in parentheses because you don't hear anything new on the second beat, but we hear something new on the and of the second beat. So this is kind of interesting. It's really what a lot of jazz music and a lot of pop music really makes, as well as a good deal of classical music and everything else, makes a lot of use of syncopation. So here's what it sounds like. Okay, so you had 1 and 2, 1 and 1 and 2, 1, 2. Okay, now here you have a couple of ties, and those ties can sometimes, well, they do have, in this case anyway, have the same effect as that syncopation. So see if you can work this out. This may, well, it'll be interesting. Okay, pause the video now. Alright, so number 7, here's what it is. You can see the 1 in parentheses a couple of times here, and let's hear what that sounds like. Okay, Okay, that's kind of cool. Particularly over here, we had that kind of interesting syncopated rhythm. So let's come back a bit and hear it again. Okay, 1, 2, 2 and 1, 2 and 2. So here's number 8. Now we've changed the time signature again here. We're in 3. We're counting up to 3 this time. There's a dotted half note there to pay attention to. No syncopation, no ties, so we'll just read it straight through. Pause the video now. Alright, and we'll move down here and we'll have a listen to this. And the music in 3 really has a different feel. You really need to emphasize the 1, so we feel those the start of each measure. 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 and 3, and 1, 2, 3. Okay. And number 9, we have one more to go after this. So pause the video now. Okay. And here is number 9. See how you did. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 and 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And the last one, number 10. Now we have a little syncopation in here. We'll talk about this in a minute when you've had your first attempt at it. So, pause the video now. Okay, 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 3. 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3. Okay, and there we go. So that should provide you with something to go on. The next video will include 16th notes, so we'll see how you do with those.